Hi, I'm Mason Scully. I'm 29 years old and I've been attending Heritage Church in Imlay City for just over a year. After working in a prison for more than 5 years, mentally and spiritually, I was not in a good place. The constant badgering you get from the prisoners going down the hallway and all the little threats you get once you see the kind of people that are in there and you subject yourself to that type of environment, and then you try to go home and live a normal life with a wife and kids, you don't know how to turn it off. You're ready for the conflict because the conflict at work is constant, and you're not just doing your 8 hours there and going home. It's like you become that person. Over a year ago, I watched my very faith-driven aunt pass after a 10-year battle with breast cancer. She introduced me to God when I was young. She would more or less drag me to church on Wednesdays, and she would take me to youth group and things like that until I was about 12 years old. And I was like a pseudo son to her. We were so close when I was younger growing up, and when I moved away and took my job, we kind of grew apart, and like I became that person at the prison where she would constantly be reaching out to me, and it was like the effort wasn't there on my part to reach back out to her and continue that relationship. One of the last things she said to me was, "Don't worry about me, I'm going home to Jesus. I hope your girls remember me." She just told me she loved me, and she left me a purple Bible. And so, it doesn't get much more ridiculous than a corrections officer, tough guy wanting to do all the hard stuff and run into fights and everything, sitting in bed reading a purple Bible. I don't know why, but something told me to pick it up, and I'm like, okay, let's try the New Testament. And so I started reading in the book of Matthew, and the next day picked up the Bible again and just kind of made a habit of it, and just like a weight was lifted off me, just knowing like there is more to life than just being angry, just being resentful and bitter. It was like I had superpowers. It's like God himself had put his hand on my back and just pushed me forward and said, like, Mason, get out into the world, and these are the things you need to do. With God, I'm unstoppable basically now at this point. Like, I've done things I've never thought I'd do. Like, I left the prison, I thought I was gonna be there for 30 years. When we moved back to Imlay City last April, we attended one service here at Heritage. During that service, I accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior. On the way home, me and my wife both agreed that this was home, and we didn't need to try anywhere else. Me and my wife decided we wanted to get baptized together side by side. I'm like, this is gonna be really cool. It would be something we'll always share together. I got into the water, and it was dunked and brought back up, and it may sound corny and cliche, but man, I felt like a new person. I felt clean, like everything had been washed away. And kind of up until that point, even though I had accepted Jesus as my Savior and had been trying to live a good life, I was like ashamed of my past, and like I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to share my struggles with anybody because there's that shame there. But when I came out of the water, it's like I can't be ashamed of it anymore. Like, there's other people going through this, there's people going through worse. Like, you need to get out there and just show people that what God's love can do for you. Since then, I landed a new dream job which allows me to be present and enjoy more time with my wife and kids, and all my anxiety has seemed to go to the wayside. A couple of years ago, a coworker from the prison once mentioned that he thought I'd turn religious within the next 10 years. And when I told my wife that, she literally laughed in my face and asked, "Has he ever met you?" That's how far away from Jesus I was. And now, almost 2 years later, here I am, running to Jesus with my wife and daughters, trying to bring along anyone else that I can, and embracing the same faith that my Aunt Sylvia had to leave this world excited to meet Jesus. I am so thankful for his amazing grace that found me at just the right time. Congratulations to everyone being baptized today. Just know that this is a new beginning. Taking this next step in your faith is huge. I'm proud of every single one of you.